Hi, Angel. Welcome back to Queen Flow. We are just rolling with the client success stories because why the fuck not? We've got them. Let's share them. And today I have my client, Deana, who is celebrating having come into my world at 8 to 10K months and then quickly accelerating to 20K cash months, which she is now maintaining. And now we are growing from here now that she has them sustainable inside Femmepire. So Deana is a relationship expert. She is so good at what she does. She's from Philly. She's just like a vibe. For some reason, I have this like thing where I love people from Philly. If you didn't know this about me, I went to University of Pennsylvania, which was in West Philly. And I was just like, when I got there, of course, it's like a hodgepodge of people from all over the world. But I was just like, not only did I learn that I'm an East Coast person, but I also had lots of friends who were born and raised in Philly. And Philly just produces like the best people. And if you're from Philly or you've lived in Philly, you will know exactly what I am talking about. So Deana's from Philly. She lives in Florida now. But I just wanted one of the many things that I love about her. So if you love this episode, if you're like, yes, I would like to triple my income as well, and I want to do it sustainably, I want to do it in flow, then I have two opportunities for you. So I have decided to extend the Feels Like Summer sale. It's either going to close on July 3rd or July 7th. I haven't decided which one. So you can reach out to me if you're curious. It will definitely be by the 7th. And that means that you can still join the revolution with code SUMMER333 at checkout. That's going to save you $333. If you have been inside or are inside Magnify, Manifest, Receive, Enchanted Sales, a secret money membership, you have the opportunity to leverage your credit on top of the 333 off. We currently have category of 1, the mastermind, which is a 6-week mastermind happening inside the revolution. We've only had our first call. Inside that call, I taught the energetics and took my women through a guided energetic process, 2 of them actually, to land the frequency of magic money. So I very intentionally created 50K in 7 days over the past 7 days in the company. This wasn't one of those moments where it's just like, oh my God, the magic just popped and the clients just came in. I'm very much of someone who, yeah, of course I love those moments, but I like to create money on purpose, right? So I actually set the intention to create that money. And of course, everything is frequency first. So I started with the frequency. So inside the first call, I actually taught the energetics of magic money, take you through 2 guided processes to create it, as well as what I actually did in my business to have this come forward in a very seamless and easy way. So for you, you might not be focused on 50K in 7 days necessarily. It could be any number, but you want to know how to do it, right? And I've just always been very good at magic money and pulling money out of the sky intentionally. So I love to teach how to do it. So when you join the revolution now, you will get immediate access to that first call. You will also have the full premium product suite of all of the energetics, the strategies behind growing relaxed millions in your business, the feminine way. What was I going to say? The feminine way, obviously, like with that masculine structure to back you up so you feel secure, you feel stable. We know how to make predictable money. We know how to make magic money. And so first, when you join, we'll be doing category of 1. You'll have the full product suite, including Secret Money and all of my premium signature programs. There's also content that is exclusive to the Revolution that you'll have access to. The Revolution, if you were to buy everything on its own, has over $40,000 worth of value. You are obviously in for a fraction of that price, so please be sure to come join us. If you are wanting my closest proximity mastermind, that is going to be Femmepire. Femmepire is extremely intimate. It is extremely hands-on. I would say, and I'm very hands-on in my calls on the Revolution. However, there is no Telegram access to me in the Revolution. So in Femmepire, you're also going to have Telegram access to me 4 days a week. I say that Femmepire, and Deana confirms this as well in the episode, you're going to get it feels like private mentorship because it's so intimate and I'm so hands-on in terms of like how I mentor. This isn't just like vague, like get in your power. Like I'm really deep in your business with you and in your human. So you're going to get the experience of private mentorship, but with the benefits of being in a mastermind. So you actually hear and see what all the other women are being mentored through, et cetera, et cetera. Because we always get answers to questions we didn't know we had. new ways of looking at things, maybe things we haven't even thought of doing or haven't done yet. And we're like, okay, cool. I'm clocking like how I'm going to handle that going forward. So there's a very special opportunity to join Femmepire right now. So DM me Femmepire or email assistant@jocelynkellyreid.com for the details, and I will get you the information on that. Or if you want to chat about which option is best for you right now between the Revolution and Femmepire. Also, side note, if you have tried to enroll in the Secret Money membership lately and it did not work, for some reason the name field had disappeared from our checkout, which meant that you could not enroll. So you are able to enroll now. We have fixed that. The Secret Money membership is my low ticket, high lux space to come turn the money faucet where you want it all the way on. You get access to all of my low ticket offers, existing plus new. We've added the gold code recently, which is very exciting. I love it. We have quarterly hot seat coaching calls. I'm in there on a very regular basis, sharing behind the scenes. Like I share very much what's going on in my business, riffs, trainings, all the different things into my little area of our Telegram chat, which we are going to actually turn that into a private podcast as soon as I can get to getting that done. But right now you can access everything inside Telegram, and inside the portal is where you have access to all of the offers that are included in Secret Money. Plus you get the best pricing for, certain proximity offers, for upgrading to the Revolution to Femmepire, for upgrading to the signature product suite. Everybody loves Secret Money. It's the place to be. Plus, you can join with your first 7 days free. So it's like, hello, just try it out. See if you love it. If you decide to stay, you're in for less than $2 a day. I also want to remind you that you can rate and review the podcast on Apple. Send a screenshot of your review to us, and you can save $200 on any offer in the business that is of a higher price point than the credit. The only place this does not apply is the Secret Money membership. So quite often, a lot of clients use it on the Cash Queen, which is like my more foundational money program. You can also use it on Overflow, which is going to be my more, I don't want to call it advanced, but it's not so much of the energy of just like healing your relationship to money and learning how to command it. Overflow is about living in a perpetual state of excess with money. So we are creating more on top of more as a standard, all out excess, right? We're going past just like stabilizing. So that's one of the options. There are so many places to apply it. You can check out my brand new website. It's fucking gorgeous. JocelynKellyReid.com, which has it all. So if you want to save that additional $200, you can use that on top of the Revolution credit that already exists. You can use that to join Femmepire. You can use it to join anything other than the Secret Money membership. So I'm going to let you go enjoy the episode. Love you so much. Message me if you have any questions and just take it all in. If you want to quantum leap with ease, I am your woman. If you're a multidimensional woman in business, I am your woman. You've had a hard time in these like super highly strategic, follow this script, build your business off a checklist containers because you are an energetically awake human and it's just never going to work for you to build a company like that. And you've had fun in your energetic spaces, but you realize you can't just like vibrate your way into millions, and you're tired of like doing energetic cartwheels trying to figure out what gives, when really a lot of the answer is just somewhere inside of your offer strategy, how you're positioning your offers, your messaging, your content, how you're positioning yourself, right? Your sales system, all like the businessy side. We want to be covering the businessy side with the energetic side at the same time, and really building a business that is aligned for you. So I am not the mentor who's like, this is the one way we do this. You got to come do it like me, or I don't know what to tell you. I'm extremely skilled in supporting women who need to be energetically aligned while we do things in scaling. Business is multidimensional. Money is multidimensional. Life is multidimensional. You are multidimensional, which is why it is not working when you try to take that, like, this person says this is the one road. This person says this is the only way to make money in 2025. This is the only way to do content. Low ticket offers the only way to grow your business right now. Blah, blah, blah. Like, the internet is full of noise for so many different reasons that I'm not going to get into right now because that's going to distract us. Just know that I am for you. If you are like, and you just want to be doing shit your way, but we don't want your way to just be like winging it and see how you feel every morning. Because as you probably already find out, that shit caps your income. It doesn't work, right? We are still growing companies, and you don't want it to be like you're so tightly running a strategy that you can like barely fucking breathe or put your phone down. Like, that's exhausting. So come do business with me, the smart feminine way. You will be so happy that you said yes, just like Deana. So I am going to let you hop to the episode. Love ya. Hi, Deana.
Hi.
Welcome to Queen Flow.
Thank you.
Oh my God, this is so good. This is such a long time coming. I'm also really excited because you've just joined for year 2 inside Femmepire, which obviously just makes me so happy because I feel like what you've been creating has just been phenomenal and just filled with so much ease. And now we get to do it again, even better.
Yes, I'm so excited for year 2 to spend another year with you and grow even bigger.
I know, it's so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we hop to all the incredible results that you've had in overflow. Well, we were just talking about overflow. We could talk about it, but also in Fempire. Can we start with your top 3 in human design and also what you do? Because like I literally cannot shut up about your work. Y'all, if you are trying to call in a partner, your girl is Deana. Like she is just has the most insane client results, the most non-generic way of going about love manifestation that I just trust me when I say is so much easier than everything that you have been doing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The end.
Yes, period.
Okay. So with that,
Yes. So I am a Pisces sun. I am a Sag moon and also a Pisces rising. And I am a 6-2 manifestation generator.
wait, back up a little because just stay back there. Wait, I'm a Sag moon. Wait, so Pisces sun, Sag moon, Pisces rising.
Yes, correct.
And then what was your HG?
I'm a 6-2 manifestation generator.
Manifesting generator, 6-2.
Yeah.
Okay. Love that.
Manifesting generator, yeah.
Okay. So same thing. Can you please tell us what you do?
Yeah, so I am a love and relationship energetic mentor, and I help mostly high achieving women identify their unconscious identity that keeps them from the love that they want to attract into their life without fixing, without performing, without trying to figure out which text message you should send him to get him to be interested in you, and dissolving patterns that make them over effort and just get them into a place where they can have the same success they're having in their business and their health and their love life. Because why not have it all, you know?
And it's so real. Obviously, I'm following you since I mentor you.
Yep.
And your client result is just like win after win after win after win after win. I'm like, the world needs to know about Deana.
Yeah. It's so much fun. Definitely so different to everything I learned growing up about relationships. I mean, I'm on TikTok all the time and the things I see on there, I'm like, girl, oh my God, it's crazy out there. So I'm glad I could be a difference maker for people.
Do you mean in terms of what's being taught?
Yeah, like it's insane. You know, every time I go on TikTok, it's like 7 red flags. He's not interested in you. And this is what women are consuming all the time. Or 7 reasons that you should stop dating men right now. You know what I mean? Just all this BS, all this I hate men garbage, and women are wondering why they're having a hard time in relationships. So I'm here to break it all down and dissolve it all.
It's so interesting because I feel like a lot of the relationship coaching on the internet, it almost teaches women to like fear men.
I agree.
Or like to like fear them and that they're like aliens to interact with. I'm like, how in the world, if you really believe all of this, how would you ever? And it's almost like that calling him in is like a game.
Exactly.
But you're supposed to feel super comfortable and happy for the rest of your life once you're there. Like, it just doesn't really make sense.
Right. And we're all supposed to be therapists. And like every date we go on, we're supposed to identify his attachment style and micromanage every single, text message we send them. It's just crazy. And I think it causes a lot of obsession almost in a way where women start to just create so much micromanaging and they end up turning around and blaming it on themselves. And it just gets to be so much easier than I think a lot of people have been taught.
Well, and I agree. And especially because so much of your client base is women who are successful in other areas of your life. So a lot of us are pretty type A, right? So part of the reason we've created the success is because like we know how to get to work and like fix a problem, right? Mm-hmm. And so because then it's like the way that when you teach type A women how to quote unquote attract and quote unquote keep a man based on these like very gamey, like thought-based
Mm-hmm.
style solutions, it teaches them, it like puts them in their puts us in our masculine and then makes us feel like puts us like in work mode where it's like I'm fixing a problem so that I get a certain outcome. I'm like, there is no way this is gonna work.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because the manifestation space is almost so parallel to that, where they're teaching women to be in their heads and affirm 24/7 and visualize 24/7. It's like, we do not need to do that. Now he's not texting you and you're worried that it's because you didn't affirm he was obsessed with you enough times. It's like, it's nuts.
Or like you're not playing hard enough to get.
Exactly. That's
Or like if you just go hang out with your friends more, he'll be obsessed with you.
right. It's insane.
Oh my God, it's so strange. Okay, so before we chat about coming into Merrill, though, can you share though how your process is different and what it is that you do? Because I've just seen it work so many times. It's like feels like a miracle, like how it is for money and clients in my world, but in the love space. So if you could share that, that would be amazing. Because I just know
Yeah.
there's going to be so many women that your work could help.
Sure. So, like I said, the affirmations, the visualizations, they are on the back burner in my world. They are definitely not something that I lead with at all. I feel masterful at identifying my clients' identity patterns inside of relationships. So, kind of looking at their self concept overall, seeing how they view men, seeing how they view themselves inside of love and relationships, dissolving those obsessive patterns that they tend to fall into because, like you said, they're successful in other areas of their life. So, usually with my clients, it's very much about in the moment changes. So, getting a good idea of the dynamics that they're in and identifying what exactly it is that they need to do in the moment to dissolve the pattern instead of going through it, reacting to every circumstance that they're experiencing, and then going and meditating on it behind the scenes and hoping that fixes it. But actually making in the moment adjustments inside of their dynamics to shift the energy.
So basically, we move out of this thing, and which in the energetic world is so common, where we're not doing like a cleanup job on the back end.
Exactly.
Instead, we're actually becoming someone like we learn how to engage in that actual moment in a different way. And that's what actually creates the magnetism.
Exactly. And doing that over and over again so your reality can make those adjustments.
Love that. Okay. So hire Deana. And then let's go back to the very beginning because a bit over 2 years ago, you came into my world. And at the time, I know, so Deana's first investment was Overflow. Inside Overflow, she tripled the money in her bank account. She went from 10K months to her first $22,500 month. And since being in Femmepire and coming in and bringing in kind of like the more personalized strategy, the more personalized energetics, you are now maintaining consistent 20K cash months, which is amazing. And I know we're going to talk about it, but it's not just that number, it's how you're doing it now, which is huge because I just feel like you have so much ease in your business. We've opened so many aligned money pathways. You're charging prices you weren't charging. Like so much has changed. We're going to get into. But let's go back to the beginning because now you've been here for a while. What was going on in your business and with money like before you came into my world?
So I was between about $8,000 to $10,000 a month, and it was very hard. It was grueling. I felt like I had to show up every single day, could not take a day off. I was telling you a little bit ago, I was sending like 3 emails a day. It was just it was just like push, 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 push to get the sale, push to get the sale. Um, content being pushed out every single day, like everything I could possibly doing. I was burning myself out. And it was just because I really didn't have, the offer suite stacked like I do now. It was because I thought that more quantity equaled more results, all those things that we ended up working on dissolving later. And it was a roller coaster. I was tired, and it just felt way harder than it needed to.
And now you're making twice as much money, more than twice as much money, and it's easier.
Exactly.
Love this. Okay. This is how we do things around here, ladies. More money, less effort, always. Okay, so that's what was going on. So the first program you invested in Overflow. Then when I was running 888, you came into 888, which was like a mini mastermind. And then you wound up, I think you briefly popped into the Revolution. Then you're like, just kidding. I want to upgrade to Fempire. So I'm assuming what was going on was that Fempire felt a little stretchy.
For sure.
And, perhaps because of, the investment versus like where you were in your business. And I would love to know, given where you, and also I know you had that big win in Overflow, of course. So you were like, okay, I see there's something here for me. But what made you decide to leap? Because I think a lot of people will they think they can wait till they're making more money to actually make the investment is going to make them more money. And you figured it out pretty quickly. Cause I think you were only in the Revolution for like a month and you were like, hey, what am I doing?
It was a week.
You were like, I just need to, and also you had just come out of a proximity mastermind, right? And so you're probably like, okay, I need to just go all the way there. Like what made you realize? And obviously we love the Revolution as well, but it's for some of you, that might be your stretch. In Deana's case, Fempire legitimately was her stretch and where she needed to be. What made you have that moment of realization and what made you desire to upgrade to Fempire?
I just don't play small in other areas of my life. So I was like, what am I doing? Let's just go. I'm very big on leadership, and I've seen how leading money, for example, has replenished me faster and how it's grown me faster. So I was like, why are we playing small? We need to go bigger. Do we want to be a little bit making a little bit more, have a little bit of a bigger business in a year from now, or do we want things to be massively bigger? Do we want things to be massively different? And if that, when you're thinking of it that way, it's like, okay, I got to make the bigger investment. I got to get the support that I know that I really need. Because again, I don't want to play small. I want it all. So let's do it.
And then what drew, because obviously there are just so many masterminds on the internet. There are so many people to learn business and money from. There's even so many people who claim to teach similar things, right? So what drew you specifically into my world from the range, you're no newbie to investing in yourself, from the range of what's available?
I think it started with Overflow, and I think our ways of teaching are so similar in our own niches. And that's definitely what got me, because obviously the way that you spoke in Overflow and the, what I implemented worked so well for the way I operate in my life. So it just made sense to me. I think, again, we're so similar in that way. So yeah, I just felt that connection there.
Just felt the vibe.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. Okay, amazing. So, oh my God, the amount of changes we've made. I'm so proud of you. I just literally every single thing is so wildly up leveled in the time that you've been in Fempire. It is unbelievable. So you came in at 8K months. You're now maintaining consistent 20K cash months, which is incredible. But let's most importantly talk about how you're doing it, because just everything is different. I feel and you tell me what you feel. I just feel before it was kind of you just had this sort of splattering of offers and splattering of ways to work with you. And I wasn't surprised when I saw your offer stack. I was like, oh, I see why this is stressing her out, because for her to substantially increase her numbers, we need so much volume that we're going to be at this for a long, it was everything was going to be a chase. There was very little what I call continuity in your business. And in layman's terms, all I mean by that is people come in once, they're on long-term payment plans, and not every offer needs to be that. I feel your positioning was not quite, it was definitely not where it is now, but it was not speaking to the type of, because we brought more high ticket into your business as well. And you sell it like fucking hotcakes now. And you hadn't done that before. And it's so funny. People think high ticket is hard. I'm like, high ticket to me is the easiest shit in the world.
It's the easiest. Yeah. No.
It is so easy. Y'all hire me if you want to learn how to sell high ticket. Okay. So, but you didn't know that before. And so also big thing, who you were talking to, your content was not matching the caliber of human that we needed to actually fill the spaces and pay the prices. And that's been one of the biggest shifts. Those are two things that come to the top of mind. And now I just feel like you have a stabilized offer suite that can really make you money in a variety of different ways. People moving themselves along in that stack without you needing to do a million things. People locked in on much longer payment arrangements at a variety of price points. People happily pay your highest ticket prices. Like you sell your high ticket so fast, it's like not even a thing. And then even you didn't, this is your first high ticket mastermind that you'd had. There's just been so much. And I'd love to hear from you. Like, what has been the key shifts? Like, what has been so powerful for you about being in Femmepire that you feel like has accelerated your business to this degree?
Mm-hmm. I think just the way that you're in my business so specifically, do you know what I mean? Where it's like, you look at my content. The other day you saw one of my ads and you immediately messaged me and you're like, hey, let's adjust this. Like you're very specific about each person and what needs to shift and adjust. And like, you can be like you were just saying, I see that this offer suite's obviously not getting you to where you want to go. Like we need to add this, we need to take this away, we need to adjust this. And sometimes it's the smallest little tweak that makes the biggest difference. You just have an eye for it, honestly.
I know. I love this shit so much.
So just the access to that Monday through Friday is, yeah.
I think so too, y'all. I'm like, come into a Telegram chat with me, it'll change your life. I mean, I love that too. And it's so cool because you have played long-term too. I've been able to, it's like, I just know your work so well. You know what I mean? And like, I know what's going to work for your client. I understand how you do things. And I'm just curious, maybe versus like other experiences you had, et cetera, like what, and of course, like, I know you've like loved so many, you've had a great relationship in all your prior mentorship spaces, but I'm wondering like what's been quote unquote different for you in the business realm and money too. Cause obviously I would say that we go through seasons. I would say sometimes we're more focused on your energetics. Sometimes it's a lot more about your strategy and your content, depending on what's going on. But I would love to hear that as well.
Yeah.
Like
So
what's been different?
I think previously I was always I leaned towards more spiritual, energetic containers, which didn't always bring that strategy piece to it. And I think even though I'm a very energetic, spiritual person, that other piece of it is still very important. And I think the way that you're able to blend both of those seamlessly together is such the difference maker for me, because I think if I would have kept going that way, I wouldn't have this offer suite. I wouldn't be stacking the money because I wouldn't have realized it. I would have been like, oh, it's another energetic shift I need.
And then you start to like wear yourself down too, because you're like, what is possibly wrong with me? All these people on the internet are doubling and tripling their income. I've looked at this trauma, that trauma, whatever, 60,000 times. And like we actually start dimming our magnetism because we keep thinking something is wrong with us. And a lot of times we just need to make a simple energetic tweak. But then I guarantee you, show me your business and show me your content, and I'll tell you exactly what we need to do. Like, and that's the fastest road. And then we like back that with your frequency.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that a lot of spiritual based women end up being way overly introspective about their business. And it's just like there's a clear strategic shift you need, or you look at their content and there clearly needs to be an adjustment there. So yeah, just the blend of both of those things.
And had you been in any other, because I'm always talking about flexible strategy where it's like, I wouldn't say that I'm someone where it's like, hey, we operate off this one content system, this one sales system. Like, obviously, I've had so many clients. I've evolved my business a number of times. I know how to do things a lot of different ways. And I really feel like that personalization is part of what's so powerful about being in my world. However, of course, like I would say you're someone who's highly studied my programs. I also think part of the result you have is because you don't go like, oh, well, I have access to Jocelyn, so I'm not going to do the work over here. So you guys may have heard me talk about one of Deana's sales pages has a 38% conversion rate, which is just like shut the fucking front door. And I was just so excited. And you had just studied the module that I taught in Enchanted Sales on that style of sales page, did the work, brought it to me. I was like, you put your own spin on it. We always want to do that. And like industry average is 1% to 2%, And so part of why I feel like you're so successful too is because you actually do the work And then you come to me with like, hey, like, can you look at this over? Or like, I don't get this, or what's the gap here? What am I not seeing? So one, I'd love to hear what it's been like learning strategy for me, especially if you are a very like spiritual woman versus perhaps like, I don't know, other strategy programs you've been in, whatever it is. And then also just like how my programs have supported you and helped you. Cause I feel like you really like the ones you told me about where you're like, oh yeah, I definitely dove in. Some of them have been more strategic and some have been more energetic.
hmm Yeah, I think like when it comes to other places I've been, especially leaning more spiritual, it is very much of that like free flow. Post what's on your heart, post what's feeling hot right now. And it's not that that's never useful, but I think what you really do a good job at is taking those things and putting them in a way that makes sense, not just makes sense to people, but make people want to convert. Like it hits those psychological points that make them go, oh, I need that. Whereas before, it was just like, oh, let me just type whatever. Let me just type up this essay and throw it up on Instagram, no rhyme or reason. And again, I think, and you've probably mentioned this so many times, but you're super masterful at blending those two things together, like really taking that psychological strategy and blending it with your thought leadership. So, yeah.
Amazing.
Mhm.
And have you been in other like more strategic spaces?
Um, I was in one and it was kind of just like one style of content flow and I like beat it to the ground so much that it was working at first and then it stopped because people were probably so sick of me doing the same exact thing in every piece of content. Like there was no change whatsoever. So I needed to learn how to like have a little bit of a variety of how I did things.
And then how has it been for you in the programs too? Because I do feel that I'm always making an effort. It's like never just what this is the one thing we do.
Mm-hmm.
And like, cool, if we're talking about content, I'm like, sure, this is how we establish thought leadership. Here's all these different ways that we can apply it that are going to put you on the map really fast and drive conversions for you really fast. But it's not, I don't have that style where it's like, here's your script and fill in the blanks with your words because I just feel like I'm always talking about leaders don't do that. That's just what
Mhm.
people train followers to do. But I'm trying to set you guys up to actually have $1 million companies. So there's that. And even like on the sales front and like different launch styles and strategies and sales pages and all of those things, I'd love to hear for you being someone who's energetically sensitive, but who also knows you need to learn strategy, but isn't going to do well if it's like, all right, you just take this one road and you just keep going. Because to your point, eventually that road runs out because you can't be the same on the internet every day. So how has like that been for you in terms of like taking in the strategy, but also feeling like you have enough flexibility and options where it's not like you're like, oh, I've been doing this and now I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think you do a good job at teaching how to bring like personal stories, how to do education in a way where it's like people actually want to learn. There's so much education on the internet, but my education pieces do really, really well because of the way you've taught me how to set them up, right? Like hitting certain words and having knowing the certain vocabulary that lands with your audience, and you get to like put that all throughout your content and just these like little things I've picked up on that you teach across the board and blending them all together. Um, yeah, just having that like those shocking carousels or reels that's like, oh, this is happening for you, like holy shit. Just being a little bit more disruptive. Yeah.
Disruptive.
Mhm.
We like disruptive over
Yeah.
here. And I love that. And I feel like it's really taken your, because you were always, and this is what happens too. It's like your work was so good. Your methods were so good. Like everything, your clients got great results. Like all of that was there. And I feel like, as you'd voiced it before, you're like, oh, like I don't feel like my result is matching like my client results match my money. And I was like,
Mhm.
because unfortunately, that's not how business works. It's
Exactly.
who's the best marketer makes the most money.
Yes.
Um, of course, here we are talking about Femmepire. I bring my clients on the show all the time because I do like to show like, hey, this isn't just good marketing. Like this is real shit. I like know what I'm doing with women who are like incredible humans. Also, it's just fun to have my clients on the show. But yeah, and so I feel like, do you feel more empowered having like closed that gap more? Because I know that was a point of frustration.
Oh my gosh, 100%.
Because
Yeah.
you'll be there, you're like, I don't even get it. Like, my client results are popping left and right. Why isn't this working?
Yeah. It's just, I mean, now looking back, it makes so much sense why. But like the truth is, you can be as spiritual as you want, like spiritually gifted. But if you do not know how to market to your people, they're not going to be buying because everybody on the internet is saying the same thing. Like you need to know how to position yourself in a way that makes you stand out from everybody else.
And it's just the truth.
Mhm.
And no, too, because I feel like people get nervous about that, especially spiritual women, because they're like, well, how do I just like boil it down and not sound boring? And I would say there's nothing about your content or any of your programs that sounds boring at all. So how would you say how would you say it's been learning how, like in our work together, positioning yourself, your offers, your brand, and to the right client who's going to pay your prices with you feeling like yourself? Because I feel like that's the biggest fear for spiritual women is like, all of a sudden they're going to just sound so generic on the internet. And I'm like, no, I don't want you to sound generic because that's the problem with everybody else. But we need to like let you pop like magic, but in a way that actually magnetizes people to you instead of honestly like confusing them, or they just like don't really know what you're talking about,
Yeah, exactly.
or they glaze over because they think you're talking to somebody else.
Yeah, for sure. I think something I had a hard time with before working with you is I'm a relationship coach and I like barely showed my relationship on the internet. So like bringing forward a lot of, what I'm actually doing behind the scenes, what's actually going on in my relationship, bringing forward reels with, my boyfriend doing some dumbass dance in the kitchen, like things like that, which I always had. I don't know why I had so many thoughts around not doing it. Um, but that allowed me to feel so much more like myself in my business than just posting a blank carousel every single day. And even sharing things on my stories I would never share before because I always thought it had to be going along with an offer. Like I couldn't share anything else about myself or people wouldn't want to buy from me. All these things I picked up in the masculine business world.
Well, I think this is a great one too, because I'm big on building a personal brand, and sometimes people they overdo it, where then it's just your GMs are full of friends,
Yep.
right? Or it's like so intensely education, education, education in a way that doesn't convert like yours does, that people are just kind of like bored, right? And I feel like, do you feel confident in that dance now where it's like, hey, I'm building a personal brand and I'm the expert on this, so that when people are hitting your DMs, they're like, I like that bitch and I want to pay her.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that I have kind of mastered that dance, and a lot of the stuff I share just ends up being because of the work I do anyways. So everything kind of just all feels like it flows together now.
That's amazing. And can we talk about your graduation into a quote unquote higher level client and higher prices and your first high ticket mastermind? Because I feel like this is a big deal. This is like one of my absolute zones of genius. And in terms of like how I built the majority of my company and also helping other clients. And it's a big pain point for a lot of people. It's like, how do I sell out high ticket? And it's funny because you were like, oh, now you're like, oh, it's the easiest. And I'm like, it's so easy. But it doesn't start out as so easy for many people, or they'd all be making a lot more money. So what has that been like for you? Because that was, I would say, a major shift in how we were positioning your private, your prices going up, and then also introducing your first we can talk about your offer stack in a little bit,
Mhm.
but we introduced your first high ticket mastermind, which I know can actually be like quite scary to put into the world when we've not done it before.
Yeah, for sure. I think I was talking for so long to the very early spiritual young woman, just getting into self development. And I'm almost 30 now. And it was like there was a big gap there. If something felt off about it, a lot of people would come into my DMs not ready to pay those prices. Again, very early in their journey. Very much like, what affirmation can I say to get this person to text me as fast as possible? And it's like, like I was, you know what I mean? I was just so over it. So we adjusted um, my content to really speak to that woman who's already successful, who's already been in a self-development world for God knows how long, has been dating, has done all the things already, and this is just kind of the last area of her life that she wants to check the boxes off.
And then how has it been then? Like filling, because we also raised your prices too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in terms of now being able to fill your private and your mastermind spaces with a lot more ease.
Yeah, it's, I mean, my both those things are sold out right now. And
Like get on the wait list.
yeah, like the first, I remember bringing the mastermind to my space, and it was uncomfortable. It was definitely different and new, selling that price point to so many people at one time. And I was like, oh, like this is gonna be tough. And I was still kind of on that messaging adjustment. And then as I really mastered that, I felt like it filled up overnight. So yeah, it looking back, like, sure, it took me a little bit of time for those things to adjust, but at the same time, it almost feels like it like all clicked and landed at one time.
Because then the compound effect starts kicking in, right? You're like, oh, I got it now. And then it's like boom, 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 boom. And you're
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yep.
This is so great. Can we move to your offer suite too? Because we're not just scaling Deana's whole business on high ticket, because that would not be sustainable, scalable for the long run. But we want that in place while you're still in a position where you very much do like to mentor. And so we've brought in a number of other things into your business, meaning basically we brought in a low ticket membership. I would say kind of like a mid ticket membership. And then I would say much more dialed in focus to your programs that really sing.
Mhm.
And so I would love to, and your master classes, I know you get like masterclass sales all day, every day, which is super fucking cool because you also love low ticket like I do.
I do.
And just being able to turn those sales like fucking popcorn is the easiest thing in the world once you know how to make it easy. And it's great because then we have this whole pool of warm people to like come join our other things, which is what we want to see. So can we chat a little bit about how it's been just even optimizing your offer flow? Because that was like a huge quote unquote barrier to you making more money with more ease.
Yeah, I think when we first started, I might have had two master classes, two courses, and maybe a high ticket mentorship, and that was it. There was nothing in between. I didn't really have any working email funnels or anything of that sort. And we have so many master classes now that, like you said, pop every single day. Every single day. Like, I don't even talk about them as much, and they're just constantly selling. And then we put all those in a low ticket membership, which is available now. Which is so nice. I love having that option. And then
Isn't it? Because like people are like, everyone teaches you, and it's true. Like you want people to upgrade from your low ticket, but then if you think about it, well, average conversions from low ticket are 10%. So where the hell is everybody else going?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And
Nowhere
like,
for them to go. Like, not everybody was going to buy a $33 masterclass and go to a, $12,000 mentorship. Like, it'll happen once in a while, but it's just like such a big gap. So we needed somewhere for them to go.
and you wanted more of that. Your goal wasn't to have every single person come into a high ticket mastermind or private. You actually want, it's not scalable, even though it's fun. It makes you a lot of money. You actually wanted to build a business that can support people across many different levels. And then again, too, what was going on in your company before was like every sale was just that sale. There was there's basically like no reoccurring income. So you're starting over at the top of every month.
So stressful.
Like no wonder we were stressed out. Like you cannot maintain that, but for so long.
Exactly. Yeah, now I have the low, and then the the mid-ticket membership, and then the mastermind. So everything's stacking. So I'm never starting the month at zero anymore, like, ever. So yeah.
And now, don't you have all these people because you have all of these things selling at different price points? And keep in mind, Deana's not selling all of these things at the same time. Like her master classes are selling without her doing anything, right? It's like they're that strong, right? And then people are upgrading behind the scenes And then I would say you are probably focused max on selling 1 to 2 things at a time. For example, in your stories, we've got all these like warm people who are ready to go.
Yeah, people will just message me and be like, I want to come into this mastermind and I haven't talked about it in 2 months. So people are just constantly moving behind the scenes now, which I never had before.
Isn't it the best feeling? Because you don't feel like you're responsible for all the momentum.
Exactly. I can just like, I spend so much less time in my business now, like maybe 2 hours, sometimes less a day, sometimes not at all. And people are still coming into a high ticket mastermind. Like I never had that.
Yeah. Makes me sad. Behind the scenes selling, I'm like, y'all, we got to have a behind the scenes selling system and an offer stack to supports it. And of course, what that looks like is going to be different for everyone. But like behind the scenes selling and optimizing my offer suite doubled your income too. It doubled my annual income when I first put it in place from 400 to 900. That was like the first time. And all I did was enhance my behind the scenes selling, optimize kind of like my offer flow. And like, I think that was the first year I had Femmepire, but that is not just having one mastermind is not enough, right? To double those kind of numbers. So doing that well is such a game changer because you don't want to live on your phone. And you said like you were sending 3 emails a day, making $8,000 a month. Like this makes no sense.
It was ridiculous. Like insane. And 3 TikToks, 3 emails, a post, stories, a podcast episode every week. I don't even know how I was doing it.
And it was only not getting you as far as what you're doing.
I was maxed out.
I was maxed out. We cannot be maxed out at 8K a month. If we're maxed out at 8K a month, we have a problem. Okay. And then something that's really cool because now you've brought ads into your world, right? And a lot of people get in their situations where their ads aren't converting. And the reason will always be it's multifold, right? So it's like our creative has to create enough interest and our ad copy has to create enough interest to get clicks. And then once we get the clicks, the sales pages need to actually work for a cold audience. And a lot of people have issues. And then let's say you got people buying from the sales pages. If they are not going anywhere on the back end of that, then we have a problem with our email funnel and also just like where we're sending the people. I do think a lot of the way people buy now, even from the ad world, isn't always like, I think that before it used to be like, people would be like, I have my $1 million funnel and everyone would just like naturally go from that offer to the next one. I do think probably even how you see in your world with low ticket too. Now people tend to like find their own path a little bit. And it's not always just that one that you gave to them out the gate. So we'd like to accommodate for that in our back end selling system. But anyhow, your ads also just like I know we did some work too, refining your creative, your ad copy, all the things. And then we already had the hot sales pages converting very, very highly from you setting the templates and enchanted sales. But I'd love to hear like how that's been because I feel like, didn't you tell me, like, I know you would boost posts, but that the ads never worked before.
Yeah, I probably just didn't know what I was doing, but like the boosted posts, I mean, they helped a lot to get more followers into my Instagram, but once I really refined the ads and took a lot of what I learned with the content that was working already on my Instagram page, that's when it really started to work. Cause I was probably just like throwing God knows what up on ads and like crossing my fingers.
Yeah. When I bring this up because they don't work for a lot of people who are new because they don't know how to position what has worked organically, like to a cold audience.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we really hit on like that. Knowing what language works for your hot audience on Instagram and what needs to, you can still have like similar content, but there needs to be some more buzzwords or things that are going to land for people who don't know you yet.
And who aren't as invested in reading these complicated, whatever.
Yeah.
Like marketing to people who literally don't give a fuck who you are.
Literally, it has to be simple. And like I know a lot of spiritual women want to put their heart out on their content. It's probably not going to work for ads. Like you need to know how to shorten it and make it very easy for people to read.
But also with that disruptive energy where she's not like, okay, I've read that 6,000 times.
Exactly.
And I feel like we've done that really well. And because you had such great results out of Enchanted Sales, and I'm obsessed with that program because I'm like, y'all, this is all everything you need in the department of selling that is just missing anytime anybody asks me a question where I'm like, okay, join enchanted sales, join enchanted sales, join enchanted sales. Can you share about how, and there's still things I'm putting into it, but how enchanted sales specifically has been for you? Because I do feel like this is the first time I've really taught like full sales systems, all styles of sales pages. I haven't put in the email funnel, emails that convert yet, but I will be like, it's a real deep dive into everything that is marketing and selling. And then hottest on the internet for those who are listening is everything content.
which I also love too. But yeah.
Okay, well, can we talk about what you love about both of them then?
Yes. Enchanted sales, like I do love having that strategic part. My brain is not naturally strategic, so having something to lean into a little bit there is super helpful. And there's so much in there. Like
I know.
I'm like, when does it end?
You're like, Jocelyn, you've been teaching it for 6 months. I'm like, I know, girl. It's been 6 years. Okay. There's like a lot to teach.
Everything is in there. Like everything from the sales page. Like I don't know what you didn't touch on now that
I mean, we did everything. We did like your app purchase funnel checkout. We did sales pages. We did low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket sales pages, selling evergreen, selling with launches. I'm going to add selling with memberships because I'm very good at that. It's all the thing. It's like literally, trust me, any question you have around selling is answered in there. Oh, also, because I do really good job, just sales in general. Like when you put things on sale, how to be successful with your sales, because that is one of my sweet spots. We have a whole module on that. Like it's everything. It is just literally everything that I have done so well and also help my clients do well. And it's just great because you have like the play by play in there so you can feel self-resourced as well.
Yeah, I think for me, definitely the sales page stuff was huge because again, I never learned how to write a sales page. Like I could throw some words up on there, but I didn't know what converted, why it converted, what needs to be on there to make sure you're hitting all the buyer types. Like I wasn't doing any of that before. So I think that's the program that really nailed it into my brain.
I know. I love it. And it's like, it's so funny because I'm so energetic. For me to get it all out in an organized way, I'm like, oh my.
Yes.
I love it though. It's like, I want to flow, but I love structure. Like structure really helps me stay on track and it helps my clients too. So I'm like, you're doing the people dirty if you don't sit down and really get this like down for everyone, because it's been like I'm bringing like 6 years of expertise into a program, which is very different than if I had taught it after like 1 or 2 years, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. Again, there's so much in there. Every time I check the page, I'm like, oh my God, another one.
There's like more stuff.
Yes.
But you do have it.
There's so much.
But you do have it for life. Oh, yes. And we did talk about, there is a module on selling to the 4 different types of buyers. Y'all energetic women just love to sell to the same people over and over and over. I'll tell you that for sure.
I was
What did you say?
that I was definitely that person before.
We all were. So that is amazing. Thank you. And then what about for Hottest Show on the Internet, since you mentioned loving that too?
Yeah, that's one of my faves. I think that was a big one for adjusting my content. And like you don't give like prompts. You're not like fill in X here and fill in Y there. It's not like that. Like you give examples of how you applied certain types of content in your own, but it's very much how to create it in a way that's unique to you that still makes sense for buyer psychology.
Yeah. And I think that's so important because this is why we want to get to a place where we're doing it naturally.
Exactly.
And the only way to get you to be able to do it naturally, if you're always filling in blanks, you're like, what am I supposed to insert here again? Like there's nothing about that screams 7-figure company.
No. And
right.
Feel right. Like it feels like it just doesn't feel like you. It might be okay at first, but I think over time it's going to be like, I just feel like my content's not even coming from me.
Yeah. And so you want to learn different styles, and you had such strong thought leadership but I feel like it wasn't dialed in enough. Like you had all the pieces, but they were just kind of like, I always talk about thought leadership is what puts you on the fucking map, is what makes you stand out. Like it is a number one for differentiating yourself in the market. You had all the pieces, but I don't feel like they were like pulled together as powerfully as they are now in your brand or as applied to your offers.
Yeah, I agree with you. Mm-hmm.
But now I feel like, or at least it comes across to me like you're super confident in that area.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't take me 3 hours to make a post now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is what happens. Okay, amazing. Well, and then I'd love to hear too, it can be so easy for people to want to like jump around on the internet and like whatever it is. And so you, of course, decided to enroll for year 2. And so first you did 6 months, then you did another 6 months. And then this time you decided to take it to another level and invest in a full year at once. So I'd love to hear what inspired you to do that. Cause in this like short on attention span world, of course, people start being like, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should go over here. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
No, I am somebody that needs consistency and just like, I don't want to be bouncing around and getting opinions from everybody on the internet. I love what we've created together already. So I'm like, why not just keep growing with you?
Yeah. And then can I ask as my last question too, like how you feel in your business now? Because there's all the results you've had, there's how we've created them, but I just feel like you just feel so much more like secure and like you're able to focus on, I know something was important to you is being able to focus on things that aren't just business in your life,
Yeah.
and really wanting that. And now you're doing, wait, what is your competition that you're doing?
So I'm doing my first bikini bodybuilding competition early next year, which I would have never been able to do a year ago because you know how much time I spend in the kitchen now? And like 3 hours a day to get ready for this. Like I would have never had that time. And I'm in a gym and selling courses and masterminds and God knows what else. And I don't have to think about it 24/7. So it's just given me so much more ease, so much more space to do other things in my life, which as a manifesting generator, you need your eggs in other baskets than just one. Or I just, I feel like I hit a wall. So yeah, just ease, space, so much space. I need space.
I need space too. And I think something that's really cool if you're open to sharing, because I like earlier in your business, there'd be times where like you maybe picked up part-time work and things like that to support your cash flow. And I know that that was something you wanted to be able to walk away from that now is like a non-issue.
Yeah, I would go through like a couple months of some good sales and I would leave the job and then I would go back to it because things were dipping again. And I just decided, like, I literally decided I'm not doing it anymore. Like, I decided 100% into my business. We're not getting income from those other places anymore. I don't want it. And so I made that adjustment. I made that decision and I just went all in and I stopped going. I stopped picking up hours and that was that. And I'm not looking back.
Not looking back, and I'm making more money. Bye.
Bye.
And I look great in my bikini. Bye.
Exactly.
I love this. Okay, thank you so much, Gina. Well, is there anything else that you would share about Femmepire? Because I just feel like it's such a beautiful, incredible mentorship opportunity, obviously. And I have this space quite intimate now, but over the years, I think it's been open since 2022. It's just continuously doubling, tripling, or more income. Like woman after woman after woman after woman after woman. And I really believe that like don't wait if you're not in a place to join or you can't resource yourself to join. Like Deana didn't start there, but also like if you know it's your time, just fucking move. Like I can guarantee you it will massively change your business. And I'm just wondering if there's anything else that you have to share about it.
I mean, I think that there's a lot of masterminds in the business space, but if you are an energetic woman, you need to be in Jocelyn's world because she just knows how to blend both of those things together so well. She's in your business. It's not just like this a ton of people in one room and they get to ask one question or two questions every time they meet. Like she is all the way in. She knows what you do. She knows your audience. She knows your content. Like it almost feels like private mentorship, even though it's
That's
not.
what I say. I'm like, guys, it's like private mentorship in a mastermind environment. And I will always keep it small because I think something I haven't liked about this industry is like the highest ticket masterminds are like a high price point for you to just kind of like be an observer.
Exactly.
I'm like, let's be real. In 2025, we are entering a more and more mature market. This whole like wing it and make money thing has like the ship has sailed. And so, and I really value, I think there's a lot of value into learning, to seeing how other people do things, right? And just hearing those questions answered because we tend to be challenged in so many similar areas. But I'm just not into this like pay the highest ticket prices to be an observer. I think that like, if you want to see big results, continuously compounding results and not just one big win because you were on the high of being in a high frequency room, but like really compounding results, then like you need to like, if you're going to pay prices like that, we need to actively be getting mentored. Like, I just think it's like offensive to charge high ticket prices and then like, I don't know what you're posting on social media. I have no idea what's on your sales pages. I don't know who your audience is. Then why are we in the masterminds?
Exactly.
Like, I just don't like that. But it's so much of what masterminding is in this industry. It's all just like a proximity sell. And I'm like, okay, but to me, the part of that proximity sell is like, I am committing to really like diving into your company with you. Otherwise, we're not doing a mastermind.
Right. What's the point?
You can just be, you can do the DIY version and we'll do Q&A calls or whatever in the program, but I don't need to have you pay in any mastermind, no matter whether it be obviously in Femmepire, it's like I'm seeing your content on a much more regular basis. Like we're more in it because you have Telegram access to me. Right. And also like, it's just a more intimate group. But I don't know. To me, I was like, if otherwise, like, I'm just not going to have a mastermind. If I'm not going to be in there with them. And I've experienced the like high ticket, low touch vibe. And I'm like, this just feels like money doesn't just rub off from one person to another.
No. Maybe for like a couple weeks, but that'll burn out real quick.
Yeah, where you're like, you just get that activation, but like that's not gonna sustain you for years.
You need to learn how to build a fucking company.
Yeah, and I'm just real passionate about helping you do that because there's so much that's sold on the internet it's not actually business coaching, or people who are good at doing it themselves, but then like for other people, I mean, I really believe that like, women who do so well in my world, whether I'm talking about the revolution or Femmepire or whatever it is, when we're talking about my more proximity spaces, is it's like because I'm actually like putting in the time into your company to like really be pulling out what works. And also it's just my gift. But I really do care about that part. This isn't one of these things where it's like, well, she's made lots of money, so you just get the privilege of being like close to her.
Right. Yeah. There's so much more to it than that. Like
I'm just like never going to be doing that.
Yeah. No.
Or else we just won't have if I don't want to do that, we just won't have a mastermind, is how I feel. Because like Deana was saying, there's so much to get out of the programs as well. But I do think adding that extra touch of like being mentored, no matter whether you come do that in the Revolution, Femmepire, wherever is like an alignment for you right now, does make a world of difference, especially like in our current market where you actually, you got to like kick it up to the next level.
Exactly. And everybody's unique. Everybody has their own niches and thought leadership. Like we can't just be, operating under this, running the same like type of business across the board. Everybody needs their own thing. So
totally. And I love this success too, because like you're not a business coach, you're not a money coach, right? You are, like, I don't think love is a luxury, but like you're selling something. Like people also get in their heads like only business and money coaches make big money. I'm like, no, you think that because only business and money coaches talk about how much money they're making because it's relevant. It's related to marketing their business. If you don't teach those things, why would you be talking about it? It's irrelevant, But, and I don't know if you had any thoughts about that, but I feel like it's cool to see the level, that you've been stepped into and are playing at in the relationship space.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was that person that thought I could not charge high prices because of my niche. And like, I followed so many money coaches. I followed so many business coaches. So I would see them post constantly their numbers. And I'm like, how I could never make that. Like that was just the connection that I made in my head. And it's just not true because somebody else might have business and money and health on lock and they would pay anything to have the relationship on lock too. It's just not as loud as everybody else.
Right, because it doesn't need to be. But I remember telling like Deana, people are paying matchmakers $50,000. $50,000. What do you feel like finally shifted for you where you understand that like, oh, people will pay quote unquote business coaching prices in my niche?
I think like just looking at the state of relationships, I was like, damn, people really, really, really need this. They really do.
You're like, girl, you're struggling. Like, this is not
Like
a good look.
yeah, I would like go to real estate events with my partner, and instead of everybody coming up to him to talk about real estate, they would find out I was a relationship coach. Guess who? I had a line of people now sitting next to me trying to discuss with me about the relationship. So I was like, holy, this is not a relationship event.
Yeah, interpersonal relationships are, it's just as challenging as money for people. It really is.
Yep,
And even people who have money, they still can't get that part down.
exactly.
It's a high value thing. I love that. Okay, amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Y'all need to go check out Deana. So, what are the best places to get in touch with you for anybody who's interested in checking out your work?
Yeah, you can go to my Instagram, The Ultimate Manifester, or you can go to my brand new launched website, theultimatemanifester.com.
Oh, and it's so pretty. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my God, it's
I'm so
here.
excited to have it.
What about your show?
Oh, yes, I do have a podcast. It's called Match to Magic. It is currently on YouTube under The Ultimate Manifester, or you can listen to it on Apple Podcasts.
And for our TikTokers, you're very active on TikTok,
Yeah,
right?
The Ultimate Manifester on TikTok. It's The Ultimate Manifester across the board.
Everywhere. Brand domination.
Yeah.
Oh my God, amazing. Okay. Is there any last thing that you would have to say around coming into my proximity or into my world for those who have not even toe dipped yet? I don't know what y'all are doing, but is there any like final words that you would have?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know that your work has changed my life and just opened my eyes to all the areas, all the blind spots that I had in my business that just needed to get closed up, and now I'm seeing the results of it, and yeah, it was the best decision I've made.
Oh, thank you. I'm just so happy. It just makes me so, I'm like, this bitch knows what she is doing now. When I watch you, I'm like, yes, girl, go.
It's so yeah, it just feels easy now.
And it's only just the beginning.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you, Deana.
of course.
Hi, Queen. I hope you enjoyed this episode with Deana. Isn't she the best? As you have heard, Femmepire is the place to be, If you're desiring to scale 20K to 100K cash months, there is a reason that Deana has just enrolled in her second year after already spending a year inside the mastermind. When you found your home, you just stay. And I am sure if you're a woman who is multidimensional and you're desiring to scale 20K to 100K cash months and you're kind of bored with all the options on the internet and you want to be building smart strategically while also feeling deeply in flow and activated by the energetics of the space and really mentored, not just be like paying high ticket prices to get in a mastermind just exclusively so you can hear other people be mentored and receive like vague answers to your questions and your mentor doesn't know anything about your business, your content, your offers. Like I keep this mastermind very intimate because I'm very deep in your business. The reason that my clients get such insane results is not like my money's rubbing off on them. It's because I actually am like deeply mentoring. Some people just don't want to do that work. They get to certain levels in their business and they don't want to do that work. And I'm like, yeah, but people who get the best results, right, actually have support. And the support doesn't just look like, well, how do you feel? Or I don't know, just follow my formula. Business has got to be personalized. There's nobody on the world stage who just like is wildly successful and they all just like followed the same checklist to get there, but somehow the online space makes you think that like that's going to happen is not. As you've probably experienced already. So if you are like, I'm ready to take it to the next level, I want it to be aligned, I want it to be strategic, if you maybe were making a lot of money in your business and then 2024 or 2025 kind of knocked you off your game and you're reorienting to how to do things in an aligned way for where you are in life, what you want in your life, and for how the market is currently buying right now. Remember, this whole thing people aren't buying is not fucking true. Let Deana be a perfect example of that, as well as all of the other clients that I share and talk about all the time. It's just that the way people buy has evolved, and we now need to be more masterful at positioning our offers, positioning ourselves, and being strategic within our companies, which also pays huge dividends because it becomes so much easier to make money, which is what you want, so that you can also just spend more time in your life. So there's way more money on the table than ever. It's just like, oh, we got to kick our game up, right? And I'm very good at helping you do that. So message me to get the details on Femmepire. Like I said, there's a very exclusive, you want to jump on it, opportunity to join us. I'm going to say through, because I've been going between July, what did I say? The 3rd and the 7th. Let's call it the 7th. And if you are somewhere else in my world, or you're not in any offers right now, all good. You still have access to this opportunity. So either email assistant@jocelynkellyreid.com, or if you're on Instagram, the best move would be to DM me so we can make sure it's the right fit for you. Because when you email assistant, that's going to be my team. But if you DM me, that's going to be me. Also, you have the opportunity to save 333 with code SUMMER333 at checkout when you join the revolution. This is my mastermind for scaling Relax Millions. You'll get the full product suite. You will be in category of 1, the mastermind, which is the mastermind where we teach you how to create buyer certainty with your audience to be the only one your luxury clients see. And this is on a strategic and an energetic level. Already what we've been doing is so powerful. I've already taught, like I was sharing, module 1. It's a mastermind, but I taught the energetics behind my 50K in 7 days. Magic Money took the women inside through 2 processes to create it, no matter the amount of money you're creating right now. A client had someone who's on the fence reach out and be like, how do I work with you long term? Literally right after we finished. And we were on the call, which is just so cool. And then also strategically what I was doing in the business for it to be simple. You can get immediate access. You'll be part of our next 5 calls. And then ongoing, we have 2 hot seat coaching calls a month. I'm very hands-on on those calls. You get the whole product suite. You get the Secret Money membership. Twice a year, we do these like deep dive masterminds where we go 6 weeks in a row. And that's in addition to our twice monthly hot seat coaching calls. So you're extraordinarily well supported. I will probably be raising the price because it makes sense to. So come join us inside the revolution. You will not regret it. One of my clients just messaged me today. She joined a few days ago. She was like, oh my God, thank you so much for encouraging me. Because she was just kind of like going through a more challenging financial situation. And then she was like, I'm just tired of making money, making decisions, doing everything with the brakes on. She was like, I'm just going for it. And she was like in tears this morning being like, thank you so much for like encouraging me along. She is just so happy that she made this decision to join the revolution. And you know, if you want to be mentored by me, and this is such a powerful time to move. And a reminder as well, you're able to rate and review the show, save $200 off any offer. Send your review to assistant@jocelynkellyreid.com, or you can send it to me via DM. The only offer it doesn't apply to is a Secret Money membership, which is another great starting point in my world. It's my low ticket, high luxury experience to turn the money faucet where you want it, which is all the way on, obviously. And you are able to join with a free 7-day free trial. Cancel anytime within the first 7 days if you decide to stay, which why wouldn't you? But it's totally up to you. If you decide to stay, you're in for less than $2 a day. So it's just such a powerful space. I have all the links in episode notes. I have all the links for Deana and episode notes as well. I love you. Feel free to hit up my DMs with any questions, and I hope to see you in my world and on our next calls where I can just, guys, let's go from free conversation to paid conversation. Let's just be like powerfully getting results. You've received the information, like the inspiration, right, from what's happening with Deana and my other clients. You're receiving the activation. You already know I light up something inside of you, or why the hell are you listening to the show? You wouldn't be. So let's just like go to the next level. Isn't that what you came for? I think that it is. All right. Love ya. Bye.